Some of our viewers out there recommended this campground, and we got to tell you, it's a winner. You guys hit the nail on the head. We really like this place. In last week's video, you saw our first night here didn't probably go the greatest.
What was that?
But we got to tell you, our weekend got better, and we've really enjoyed our stay here. So we're at
Little Arrow Campground in Townsend, Tennessee.
Really close to Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. I'm sure a lot of you have already been here, but if you haven't, you know, great. Hopefully this is the first tour you get to see on it. In our videos, we normally do things in order. We have an order to them so you know what to expect, or you can fast forward any part and come back to it later or whatever. Skip over it if you want. But we usually start with Jarrett's world famous bike tour, unless you deleted it.
No. We have some redundancies because yes, I deleted the bike tour, and yes, we drove an hour out of our way to get here to film a bike tour for you guys.
After we do the world famous bike tour, we get into favorite sites, which we do have some favorite sites here, likes and dislikes, and things to do in the area or on the campground. So let's get into that non-deleted world famous bike tour.
All right, guys, we are at Little Arrow Campground in Townsend, Tennessee. So as you come in, you come right across this lake. They said they just released some trout in this river here, so they got some guys out there trout fishing this morning. But as you come in, this is a really nice just entrance to this place. It's such a pretty campground. So it's kind of a different setup when you come in. They do like packets with your name on them. They don't really like check you in like you would do at some of the other campgrounds we've been to. And when you come in, Loop A is on the right, B and C is on the left. So we're gonna check out Loop A first. This is kind of a narrower campground. The roads are pretty narrow, pretty tight. So as you come in, make sure you swing wide where you need to swing wide. Just, you know, I think you could get in pretty trouble. We're at 38 feet and I got around just fine, but you know, it is a deal. If you weren't really paying attention, you could get in trouble pretty quick. So this is a one-way when you come in. So this is the way out and this is the way to the campground. So we're in 46, and just so you know, if you're in 46, you got to go around to pull through. This is a little tighter campground, but it's not terrible. Gravel sites, you know, gravel back ends, and you have like the paver sites there. They're pretty nice as well. If you're in a shorter rig, you're gonna have a lot easier time finding spaces. There are a lot of short spaces here, but then there's also some big rig friendly spaces as well. So there's our friend's camper. We made friends last night. My favorite sites is on this A loop is basically anything that backs up to the river. That's kind of a cool area to be in. This is the site we're in. We're in 846. It's a nice pull through site. It's kind of up around the hill. I do like our site. We don't have anybody besides a few people parking off of our campsite. They do have these glamp houses. They're not glamp houses. They're called glamping tents. They look pretty cool. I didn't look in one, but they look pretty neat. In the middle, these are all back ends. They do back in on the driver's side, so I am glad to see them do that. This is Sunday morning, and so you're kind of getting the checkout crowd. A lot of people leaving this morning. We will be leaving this afternoon. We're actually here through Monday, but I got to get back to work, and we're just kind of ready to get home, take back a few things we got to do. As they're leaving, you've seen a lot of these guys. I mean, they're hustling to get the sites cleaned up and get them turned around. This is kind of like, say, a shoulder day. This is on a pretty good hill, so everything's on a hill in the mountains. But they have these camping cabins. They say these camping cabins stay pretty booked up all year round. Again, we didn't go in them. We brought our own cabin, but it's I don't know, if you're looking to get in, you know, come stay in Smoky, this would be a good place to stay. They do have a heated pool that you can't see for the trees to my left, and a hot tub. That's pretty cool. It's a really nice pool, and these are some really attractive looking cabins. They do have the Little Arrow Pavilion on top of the hill. It was closed this weekend for it's Grits and Grain Festival. They had some parties and stuff, so we didn't get to enjoy it much, but we walked it this morning. It's really nice. They close it up in the wintertime and heat it so that it stays warm. So we're gonna go in the B and C loops now. So the B and C loops, you know, these are a little bigger rig friendly. I don't know if this is like a newer section or not, but they do have a little longer sights. Again, any of my favorite sites in this campground would be anything on the lake, on the river or stream, creek, whatever it is. And then they have walkways to get down. So you can see right here, there's a walkway that takes you down to the river. It makes it nice. And all these sites here kind of back up to the water. So if you're like us and you got a rear window, try to get a waterfront site. Which is cool here, they have these little Airstreams that you can rent and camp in. That's a pretty cool deal. I would actually personally like to rent one just to stay in one and see what all the fuss is about. I know people who have Airstreams all love them. We've considered it at one point, but just never could. One, they're so expensive, and two, they just seem small. So in the middle of B and C, you have this, I think these are like buddy sites. And you pull in together, and you park, and your nose to tail. I'll let you guys hang out. And these are really nice sites. These are all pavers, and they have the cool pavilions and all that good stuff. So, kind of a neat concept here. Somebody's got them a square body Ford, a huge tailpipe. And this is your C loop up here on top of the hill. It's not a whole lot of sites up here. And not super big rig friendly either. But, I mean, you could get a, I don't know, decent sized camper in there. One of these days you're going to get a Jarrett's world famous bike crash. I don't know, he'll be more amused by it, me or you. But it'll be one of us. There is a dump station right there, next to that bathhouse. Pretty sure everything's full hookups in here. There's a Campfire Cafe. We have had their smash burgers and their breakfast. Very good to eat. The guys that run that place are super nice too. Really friendly guys. There is your pickleball court right there. There's that gaga ball thing. I really got to look up what gaga ball is. But still, boxing gloves, $100 bills, wear your kids out. It's telling you, you're welcome. Basketball court over there, and we are all up here in the cabins. And so, as you can see, these are all like little tiny houses that you can rent. Pretty neat setup here. And then right, let me find it. No, yeah. Right there, you can go up a set of steps, and then that puts you on the little arrow trailhead. And when you can walk up that joker, fair disclosure, she's steep. There's a better look at that steps going up to the trailhead right there. And they got some more seating up there. Looks like a ping pong table of some sorts. Pickleball, gaga ball, basketball. They do massages and things in this one. Kind of neat concept, I guess. Keep up with the camping theme. And then a lot of these trees and things, they got like Bigfoots, and then they got like bears, and there's a owl carved up on top of that one. And I don't know, they do a lot of neat extra stuff. Coming back down, there's a community fire pit and playground. Got TP. And then they have a little, I'll ride you up here, show you where it's at. So that is your camp store. I'm coming up on here, and right to the left of it is a little coffee shop. And you can get coffee as much as you want. And then in here, they have you got firewood right there, and then they have ice in this box here. Alright guys, this concludes Jarrett's world famous bike tour.
Favorite site, a lot of people have said in the comments of other videos and here at the campground, you either love loop A or you love loop B. You kind of like come here and you pick a side. I think we've picked team loop A. I like Lupe.
I don't mind either one of them. I think the biggest, so when I was riding around with doing my bike tour, the biggest thing I noticed is A is probably the original side of the campground, and B is probably the newer side of the campground, because the sites on B seem to be a little longer.
B is a little bit quieter from the traffic, but I'm not really sure. We haven't stayed over there yet. But I love A. My favorite site, I think, in the whole campground is site A40.
They pulled out of their spots. We were able to get you a good view. A41 and A40. With the walkway to the water right in between. Aren't those awesome? And then this is A39 and A38's the Airstream, I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with 40 and 38, A40 and 38, because they're right next to each other and they're probably the two best sites in the campground, if you ask me.
A36, absolutely beautiful.
Anything on the water that you fit in would be my favorite site.
I mean, even if you didn't get a water site, like that's okay. This place books up so quickly. You got to book way in advance, especially on the weekends or holidays. And so if you didn't get a water site, don't sweat it, because this place is great and there's so many nice things to do around this great Smoky National Park. So I will say I like our site, A46. It turned out great.
This is A46, our site right here. It's a pull through. Backs up to some cabins. There's some trees. Really nice picnic area, fire pit. It's even got a little privacy because this road here comes down. Look guys, there's 2 extra parking spaces right by site A46. That's kind of convenient, just saying.
Our new camper is tall, and so because it's tall, I feel like there's trees on both sides of the exit. I don't think I'm going to be able to pull out. So I actually think what I'm going to do, instead of running a tree down the side of our brand new camper, is I'm going to back out, which will be pretty easy. Then that puts me on the exit road out anyways. It did take me a minute to get level here, so we were off quite a bit
that last week, we're sorry.
Or we were off quite a bit left or right, and I found the limit of my electric leveler.
It's pretty level, and I love the paver patios here. They're all so pretty and nice, and big stone round fire pits with plenty of, you know, sitting room for if you have guests. It's really nice. And then just like the foliage and the leaves and the crunching of the gravel and everything fallish. It's gorgeous.
And it's got trees. It's got trees.
It's got trees. Okay, let's get right into it. Likes. I have a ton of likes.
So this location is great. We are right next to Townsend. We're close to the city of Townsend, which has like a few eateries and a local brewery and some things like that in there, distillery. And then we're also like right close to Cades Cove, the bike trail, and the national park. And actually the national park is at the top of the hill.
Along with location, my other likes are just the views of the campground, the water views, the foliage, the creek, the rustic Smoky mountain feel. It's great. The pool and the hot tubs.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, so pretty. This pool and hot tub area, it actually reminds me of some things we've seen in Idaho and out west. It's just really pretty, like trees around, the stone, the way they built it up with the waterfalls, and then in the mornings because it's heated, you know, the steam comes off the pool. It's beautiful. I
was really surprised with the pool, to be honest with you. Here it is, the 1st of November, it's open. And 2, you just don't expect to have a pool in a hot tub area like this place has. It was just much nicer than I expected, I guess is what I would say.
I think it was too.
Caught me off guard a little bit, like, whoa, this is a nice place. One of the likes we have is the way the check-in thing does is, you know, basically you pull up and you grab it's almost like a night check-in at most places. You just grab your stuff with your name on it and you go park. That is one thing they do. The downside to that is they don't really give you the map. They don't show you, like at least for us, they didn't show us where
how to pull in. Yeah.
Now that I know the lay of the land, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I think we were kind of like, well, tell us where to go. But they're like, you're good. Just grab your name. Okay. We'll figure it out. It's all good. The trail behind the campground. We had fun with it. You saw some of that vlogging in last week's video. It's about a mile total, maybe a little less. You can choose left or right. We did not walk the whole thing because, we're out of shape and it's a big incline. I feel like the last several trails we've shown them and taken have been very similar to the Manitou Incline in Colorado. We've just like killed ourselves going uphill.
I won't say it's straight up. I'm gonna say it's like a 45 or 50 degree angle.
But that view up there overlooking Townsend, that was really pretty.
It's worth it. It's worth the hike. There are bears in the campground, and so that was one of the things that we got up there, and there was Bear Scat is the more political way to say it, right at the top of the trail.
The Campfire Cafe.
That place is legit good food, and I highly recommend if you don't want to cook and you just want to come be lazy, like we like to be some weekends, they will make you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it's not overly priced, and it's good.
It's very good. And Brandon and Josh in there know what they're doing. Super cool guys. We got to meet them. Oh, let's let Brandon do some of the talking now.
Again, my name is Brandon. I'm one of the guys with Eats. Josh is in the kitchen right now making some delicious eats for everybody. But we used to be a food truck for 4 years, and we were blessed with the opportunity to open up our first restaurant location here in Townsend, Tennessee. We're located at Little Arrows Outdoor Resort in Townsend. Check it out. It's the most beautiful resort in Townsend. We are known for our breakfast, lunch, and dinner foods. Breakfast, people rave about our homemade sausage, biscuits, and gravy. Our cowboy breakfast bowl is fantastic as well. If you don't see something on the menu for breakfast that you would like, just let us know. We'll go ahead and make it up for you. And don't forget our lunch and dinner menu as well. We are known now in Townsend after 3 months for having the best pizzas in Townsend and fantastic smash burgers. So come on down, check us out. Go to our website, guyswitheats.com. You can see all of our hours, order online, or even place an order for delivery.
Oh, I had the cowboy burger, and it was freaking amazing. And it had, I mean, it just looks like a melt, like with Texas buttery toast and all this good deliciousness in it, and barbecue sauce.
They're smash burgers.
Yes, yours looked very similar to mine, but maybe had different flavors. We did have breakfast. I had the honey chicken biscuit, which was way better than Chick-fil-A. It was so honey and buttery and delicious. And you had
the Cowboy Bowl.
Yeah.
Which the Cowboy Bowl, I've always been a big fan of the Sunshine Skillet at Bob Evans, which is basically a big egg and everything piled in the middle of it. And it kind of reminded me of that, but better.
So we did order a spice cake. I'm a sucker for good spice cake. And if you order in advance, 24 hours notice at least, they should be able to accommodate. But they did, and Josh made me this beautiful spice cake with pecans and this little like roll up log like leaves with cinnamon sticks and sage. It's so pretty. I can't wait to dive into it. And you know us, we love good food on a campground. So thank you, Little Arrow. Great firewood via Venmo.
So like I said during the bike tour, I like that they have good firewood here. The camp store closes what I would consider a little bit early.
Does it? What time?
Like 6.
Yeah, I think it did.
And so, which is fine, not a big deal, but if you need firewood and you've been out vlogging and doing bike tours
or at the distilleries
and you just got blitzed and you couldn't remember what time it was, you can go to the campfire after you sober up, or to the store and get camp wood after hours. And they have just like a little shed with a QR code that goes to the Venmo.
That's perfect.
And you just Venmo. I just put like wood A46 just so they know what it was for, and then voila, I had campfire wood.
I love the convenience of this place. You can even, whatever you buy at their camp store, charge to site.
Yep.
Right up our alley, our bougie little pampered butt alley. And this is the jacket I got, Little Arrow. Y'all got to see the back. It's super cute. Can I see it?
Also, speaking of things coming forward, the Campfire Cafe is going to start. You can order online and pick up for your site. But they were telling us this morning, I don't think they made the video. They bought a new golf cart, and they're going to start delivering inside the campground. Also
up our alley, total another reason to book this place again. Our viewers too sometimes tell us that we forget to mention the dog park. They have a great dog park here. And
that dog park is awesome. That is the greatest thing I've ever seen in a dog park, right there.
It's the best dog park ever.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
World's greatest dog park right here. They have a fire hydrant for your dog to pee on. Your
next best-selling t-shirt should say best dog park ever with a big fire hydrant in the middle.
Big yellow fire
hydrant. And then
hydrant.
like little arrow somewhere. There you go, you're welcome. $1 million t-shirt sales right there. The pavilion is so nice. I don't know who can rent that, who can have private events, but Grits and Grains can rent it, and all the distillers can have private events because they were here all weekend. And apparently we missed that festival. And I didn't have any idea what was going on, but they said it was going on. So I got excited. I'm like, oh, we'll totally go do that.
Yeah.
Nope, can't go do that. You got to get tickets way in advance.
So they said tickets sold out like 24 hours in advance. or 24 hours of them releasing them. So we just did what we do, and we went to the distillery across the street from the festival.
My last like is that this campground seems to be full of football fans. Everybody was out watching football last night, but I will say the Tennessee game was on. So I guess that like it was good timing right around the fire, you know, 7:45, and Tennessee did win, right?
They did.
Dislikes. I have a number one dislike. It's a big one.
Very difficult for us on this one because we still work.
The internet service and phone service aren't great here.
They're like non-existent.
Yeah, but there's things you can do to tweak it. I'll let him talk about that. But my thing to tweak it is go down the way to the Artisan Bean coffee shop, a mile or two from here. They've got great Wi-Fi.
We had to upload a YouTube video this weekend, and our T-Mobile hotspot doesn't work when there's no service here. Verizon is okay, AT&T is just okay, and the campground Wi-Fi here, yeah, good luck. And so I think if you're coming in here and you got to like do some work and do some things like that, bring Starlink, and hope you get a site that's not completely treed over.
Yeah, some people did say that their Starlink was working fine. The second only dislike, which isn't like a dislike really, I think you just had trouble getting level, but I think that was us. I don't know. It's just they're gravel sites in the mountains. I mean, they're not all concrete, perfect level pads.
Right.
So, okay, let's move on to the things to do. There are so many because this is the Smokies. Because we only spent 48 hours here, we are not the experts on things to do in this area, but we met a couple who knows way more about the area than we did, and we learned quite a bit. So we met Kurt and Lisa, and we also met Steve and Pam. Really great couples. I'm so glad we ran into them. So we did get to do a couple things, and here's what we saw for a few good things to do in the area, and we thought these would be helpful to you as well. And then Lisa and Pam will come on and give you a few more. Well, there's shops all around. You just leave the campground, and just within the next few miles up the street, there's all kinds of little antique and Bigfoot shops and all kinds of things. We already told you about the Artisan Bean. It's a coffee shop down there. They've got good Wi-Fi. And your favorite store.
Well, I won't go with my favorite store,
What's your favorite?
But they have a really nice Ace Hardware, and Ace, the helpful hardware place, love that place. And they have, and we went in, and it's a big Ace too.
Well, what was cool about it was there was Ace, the coffee shop, a laundromat, and an RV wash.
Yeah.
All right there. Also, the IGA is right next door. So if you need groceries and you did want to do some cooking and get groceries, it's right there next to all of that. Also, they have diesel fuel. So if you need to fuel up. Company Distillery. We did swing in there. We didn't get to do the festival, but right across the street from all those beautiful tents and festivities they had going on that we didn't get to enjoy because they're stingy with their tickets. We went to Company Distillery across the way, and great atmosphere. They've got this really nice outdoor seating area with live music. We tried a flight, and we did get like the flavored whiskeys.
Moonshines.
Okay, well, I don't know if it was whiskey or moonshine. I could have sworn it was their flavored whiskeys.
I thought they said moonshine. I don't know. It's their flavored drinks.
Now we're confused. But either way, the fruity ones, in our opinion, tasted like medicine. I really liked the espresso and like the chocolates. Those were good.
Well, it's funny because I have a buddy who makes moonshine, and I'm really like partial to his moonshine. I'm like, all right, I'll try their moonshine maybe to be good. It was not great, and then we're like, well, we want to have a drink tonight. So I'm like, well, and I asked the lady, I'm like, what's your smoothest whiskey? And he's like, do you like bourbon? And I'm like, I like bourbon. And he said, this is the smoothest bourbon we can make, and it was like.
Yeah, we got their cask whiskey. It's like 115 proof, and it burns, but it was good.
Don't take much to do the job with that stuff.
So we brought a bottle of that home and some cherries, made our own whiskey sours. They were really good. Matter of fact, I think you complimented me 2 or 3 or 4 times on how much you liked the whiskey sour.
Yeah, I mean, that's one I could just drink whenever.
Good, because we'll have it again, because we got a whole bottle of it left.
Might have one tonight.
If you don't know the difference between bourbon and whiskeys, well, I think anything with flavor is considered a whiskey. Anything that's made outside of Kentucky is considered a whiskey, right?
Right.
Is that right? Anything added to it is a whiskey. So it's not straight, but something's added to it, it's a whiskey.
I don't know.
So let's get to Lisa and Pam. They know what's going on with the things to do, and so let's let them tell you more about what there is to do around here.
Well, things to do in Little Arrow. Kurt and I like to go to Caves Cove. And Kurt went on a long little hike and went to a waterfall, and he said it was beautiful. I stayed at the car because I'm afraid of Bears. But you know, they were here at the campsite, and so I think I'm going to be good for the hike next time. And Klingman's Dome, and my favorite restaurant is the Abbey here in Townsend. It's an old church, and they did it up, and there's a creek that runs behind it, and all the tubers that come here in the summertime will tube right by the creek, and the whole package is really a lot of fun. Pam?
Hello.
Why don't you go ahead and tell your 3 things?
Okay, one is you can't miss Tuckaleechee Caverns, and it's a great for all ages to go into the cave to see that. Another is, like she said, the rafting during the summer months. That is very popular. Townsend is called the peaceful side of the Smokies. Gatlinburg is the more populated. But there's also some great hiking areas all in the Smoky Mountains. One of the most popular, like she said, is Klingman's Dome that you go to.
Beautiful vistas.
And Mount LeConte is our highest vista.
I would say it's Kurt Dameron, and I'd say Jeep Invasion and Bronco Invasion in the middle of summer is a fantastic thing to do because you see Jeeps of every shape, form, magnitude. And Bronco Invasion, I believe, is a week before Jeep Invasion, so it's the same thing with Bronco. They're getting ramped up, and that's a ton of fun. And by the way, at Klingman's Dome, that's Newfound Gap. And if you do take the ride down the mountain from Newfound Gap, that's Bryson City. And right when you drive into Bryson City, you'll usually see a whole herd of elk grazing out in the fields out there. So come to East Tennessee and enjoy yourself. You'll be glad you did.
Restaurants. Let's talk about those. Definitely top of the list, and you've got to make reservations. The Dancing Bear Lodge.
Well, we talked about if you want to take a ride across the park into Bryson City. They have a place called the Everett Hotel, and it has a wonderful restaurant attached to it. It's all locally sourced food, very elegant. White tablecloths, but also the best service you will find. It has like 12 guest rooms. There is a rooftop fire bar, and you can see the whole city. They also have a train ride that you can take and go to different cities on the train. It's really nice in this time of the year, in October, with all the colors changing. It's definitely worth doing.
Okay, Little River Outfitters right down the road. Great fly fishing shops. Been here for probably 25, 30 years. I fly fish quite a bit up here in the Smokies. A lot of fun. What's nice about the Smokies, you get wild trout. Nothing's planted, so it takes a lot of finesse. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of test your skills. But definitely the Little River Outfitter down the street, has been here a long time, and you can't go wrong. Great recommendations, great advice, and they have great products.
This is Pearly May, and she loves Little Arrow. And also the creek behind us here, they release trout. So it's a little trout stream, and you can come here and bring your fishing gear and fish right here in the campsite.
Those couples were really great. I'm so glad we met them.
Yeah, they were awesome.
We spent some time hanging out over there, and we just want to say thank you guys. We appreciate you kind of like warming up to us a little bit.
Right away.
Yeah, and we just connected really well. It was a great conversation and a good time around the football TV outside.
And Pam,
beautiful Seneca.
Pam was awesome. She's like, you know what we should do this time next year? We should come back here and do this again.
That's
I'm
right.
like, well, we've known you for like 10 minutes and you're already like wanting us to come back next year and do that. That's how awesome is that?
Because we're super cool to be around, apparently, and so.
I don't want to go that far.
No, I love that idea, and we probably will. So we didn't get to tell you this because y'all pulled out before we got to come say bye, but we did in fact book it for next year. So we'll be in touch.
So that was our Little Arrow Campground tour. Really awesome place in Townsend, Tennessee. If you're in this part of the country or you're coming to this part of the country, I highly recommend staying here. Would we book it again?
Absolutely. We already did.
We've already booked it again.
And we're going to book it before the trip we booked because I think this is so close to home, and Olivia's gonna love this place.
Awesome campground, highly recommend it. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.
Yep, see you next week.